Welcome back to the Million Dollar Landscaper Podcast. Now, today we are going to be doing a best of episode with our friend Jason Geiman over at ChristmasLightsHelp.com. Now, we had Jason on about a year ago, and he was talking about how you can actually add another revenue stream to your business that you perhaps haven't thought about or have considered, but wasn't sure even how to get started. Jason was actually able to add Christmas lights to his revenue stream in his business, and I wanted to share this with you because it's getting that time of season where we start to slow down and start to ask ourselves, what can we do to keep our teams busy, keep them going, and add extra income to our business? And this is so important nowadays, especially with how hard it is to find employees. We don't want to lose them. So Jason talks about all this in this episode. So if you've listened to this episode before, perhaps you can pick up some new nuggets from there. Or if you haven't listened to it, you might be able to add another revenue stream to your business. So I hope you enjoy.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. We've actually got a guest for you here today. I'm super excited about it. His name's Jason Geiman, and I actually heard him on another podcast and was so excited. I came home, found his YouTube channel, stalked it for a while, and was like, Scott, dude, we have got to have this guy on our podcast. And so luckily we reached out and he said yes. So here we are. It is the king of pressure wash himself, Jason Geiman.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, like I said, I was so excited when I heard you on the podcast because Jason actually has two things that he does: pressure wash and Christmas lights. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. So back in the day, way back when I was a little kid, I do so I'm kind of like Scott, that I was a full-time fireman in Georgetown, Kentucky, home of where they make the Camrys. That is where I was a full-time fireman. And actually that's where I was, that was in my district. And so, like any other fireman, we don't make a whole lot of money. And so I needed something to do to make extra money and to grow for vacation and stuff like that. So I started a pressure washing business. And in this pressure washing business, I started out in 2013 and I wanted to grow it to have employees. So in 2014, I was like, well, you know what? For me to do something in the wintertime, I need to have employees. And so that I need something for them to do in the wintertime, because we're not as cold as you all are up there, but we're, coming here shortly, we do hit the 30s and 20s and stuff like that. And so Christmas lights was something that I was like, hey, I'm going to try this out. So I started growing a Christmas light, doing Christmas lights. And I grew that business to $1 million business in 2017. I hit $1 million. And in 2017, 18, I sold that business. And then in 2019, I was still doing all the marketing for them. I was kind of their consultant and doing their marketing and safety and stuff like that. And in 2019, it hit $500,000 just doing Christmas lights. That's right. Christmas lights.
Christmas lights. That is so awesome, because that is why, the pressure wash stuff is good too, but I was so excited to talk about Christmas lights because we often have people asking us, what can we do in the wintertime? What do you do to keep your guys through the winter? And we only really ever had snow plowing to talk about because that's what we did. And so, but I figured there had to be money in Christmas lights because I personally have friends that have them on their houses. And, they pay good money for it. And so it's a good service for people that are willing to pay for it. And so I'm just excited to talk to somebody that was actually able to make it work, that was able to do it.
Yep. And Christmas lights is a very good, profitable business. It's very high profit. Your first year, it's not going to be as profitable, but every year after that, it's going to be very profitable. Our average customer is paying $1,800 is our average customer. Now, some customers are paying $6,000, $7,000, and we do have a minimum of $800. So, it's worth our time to go out there and service these customers and to make money at the end of the day. So.
Okay. And if this is something that people were like, okay, I'm interested, you have my ear, it's October. What would they have to do to get started, like if they wanted to do it like this season?
So you're not too late. We can definitely do it in this season. I taught a guy a couple years ago, he's actually a landscaper down in Louisville, Kentucky. And he started on November 12th. In his very first year, he did $29,000.
Whoa,
And
that's
so
awesome.
your very first year is easily, you can do anywhere from 25 to about 50,000, 75,000 in your very first year of doing Christmas lights. It's not unattainable. If you have a customer base, obviously that's going to help you out. Forms of marketing, you might say, well, I don't have this, and forms of marketing, yard signs work excellent as long as you're allowed to put them up. Yard signs and Google AdWords. Between those two, you can drive enough business to keep you going. Obviously, there's other things that you can do to get business of, email marketing, LinkedIn. If you're not using LinkedIn, you need to be on LinkedIn. That's a great way to find people of your customers.
Mm-hmm. And you were able to do all of this without having to buy into any kind of franchise. Because, we've all got like the things in the mail of, oh, here, pay $40,000 to join our franchise. And you're like, what? I don't think so. Not that I'm anti-franchise, but I don't think it's 100% necessary all the time. And you were able to do it without it.
No, you don't need a franchise. I am anti-franchise, but no.
I am a little bit.
No. And, if you don't understand business, that's where the franchise models come into play a lot of places. A lot of, I understand, people got money and they would think that they can do that. And, this franchise is going to do it. But at the end of the day, whether you're a franchise, you want to be franchise, this is something that you can do to make money. It's just business sense. It's not hard to get customers. It's not hard to figure this stuff out. I have all my stuff online. Katie will be sending out an email saying, they're going to give a link to where you can go sign up for it. I do pressure or Christmas lights, christmaslights.com/YouTube. It's my YouTube channel on Christmas lights. I go over pretty much everything. There's just, spread out a bunch here, there, and everywhere. But in my class, I go over everything. Also, I have my, talking about my YouTube, I'll go ahead and mention, pressurewashhelp.com/YouTube there is a ton of information, and that is my pressure washing. I have over 300 videos, 400 videos just on pressure washing, and a lot of it's on marketing, and this is like no other, this is just like any other business. Again, we are not selling to ourselves. We are not our customer. When you go, people will be like, well, I would never pay that. Well, you're right, because you're not your customer,
Right.
And we do qualify people for Christmas lights. We don't go estimate every person. Our close rate is very low. 20 to 25% is our close rate. And, with Christmas lights, it's an amazing, it's probably a lot like landscaping too, of, how much is that going to be? And so we'll tell them our service. And before we even get their name or anything, we'll say, our minimum is $800. Our average ticket is anywhere from about $1,000 to $1,200. And so you're going to get two responses right there. You're going to get one that's going to be kind of quiet, and they're going to say, okay.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Or the next one's going to be like, you want what? You're out of your mind. Well, okay. Thank you for calling, because you're not our customer.
That's good that you pre-qualify them. Yeah, we tell landscapers all the time, you've got to pre-qualify your customers just to get rid of those tire kickers that are going to think you're crazy.
And so that's the beautiful thing about Christmas lights is it is a lot of fun. When it is a joy, and again, it's not everybody's going to be your customer. And so when you find the right customers, when them homeowners come home and see how beautiful it is and how amazing it looks, and, it's the best it's ever looked. And, you put up a big 60-inch wreaths or 2 or 3 of them, and you put up the nice commercial grade bulbs that really shine really bright. That really helps when they come home to see that stuff.
All right. So if you've got somebody's attention, they're like, okay, yeah, maybe I want to do this season. What would you suggest? Like, what do they need just to get started? How much is it going to cost? Like, how much equipment do you need?
So you could get into, so some things that we're going to need is some ladders. We got to get up on the roof. If you're afraid of heights, you can't find somebody to get up there, this is probably not your thing. So obviously, a ladder. Usually we use a 28 or 32 and a 40-foot ladder. So we'll need some ladders. So you're looking, $1,000 in ladders. Safety equipment, we don't want to, miss out on the safety equipment. So, the safety equipment side, there's a thing called the Goat Assist, or the Ridge Pro. The goat assist isn't OSHA approved, but you can use it, at least keeps you from falling off the roof. And so that's kind of stuff that I go through my course is what is OSHA approved, how to make sure you're doing it right, and all that kind of thing. And so, at the end of the day, you have to be safe. Otherwise, it don't matter how much money we're making. So, obviously that. There's a pair of boots that you need. They're called Cougar Paws. They help you get up on roofs. So the safety side of stuff, you're looking probably another $1,000. So you're looking $2,000. And then just some very basic tools. You need, cutters and a hammer drill. Not a lot of stuff at all. So $2,500, you could be in that side of it. And then on
That's
the
not
other
bad at all.
And then on the other side of it is, you can go and you don't have to buy all the lights up front. You can obviously you get a deal if you buy usually you can get about $1,500 to $2,000 worth of lights, and that's going to get you anywhere from about 3 to 10 houses worth of lights. So, $4,000 you can be in and be ready to go.
Nice. I don't think that's bad at all. For just starting up. Okay. And speaking of the lights, I'm sure in your courses you go over where to get lights and what are the best kind of lights to use. Like you're not just driving down to Home Depot and picking whatever off the shelf.
Well, I think Walmart's actually a little bit better than that.
Cheaper.
No. So yes, I do go over at where to get them. Actually, I just started, I sell through one of my suppliers that do it. It's christmaslights.io. You can go check that out. And I have different packages. Again, you're not looking at very expensive. Obviously, you want to go from a more professional. They'll last you, the C9 bulbs will last you anywhere from 3 to 5 years. I've got some out there 5, 6 years old, and I still use them every year. And on that same person's house I put up a long time, 5 years ago. And so, they're making money over and over. So it is worth going the investment in buying the commercial side. And at the end of the day, you're not going to be cheaper much one way or the other. So it is, you're just got to buy them in bulk, and that's how you're going to get it cheaper more than anything.
Sure.
Okay. And you don't need to have any crazy electrician skills or me. I mean, most landscapers are pretty handy anyway. Yeah. So I'm sure in your courses, do you just go over what you would need as far as, hooking lights together, how to maintain them, fix them, all that?
Yep. And so when we're teaching it's all about, how to install them on the roof. It's all custom design. We do it all custom design. So that way you don't need to be an electrician by code. By putting up Christmas lights, as long as it's considered temporary. So you don't have to have an electrician on hand because it's only 90 days or less. And then that's how that works with that.
What about insurance? Is that a big factor? Or?
Insurance isn't too bad. You can usually add it on to your current policy as an add-on, and it doesn't usually jack it up too much at all for the insurance side of things.
Okay. And, see, the questions come and then they go. They come and then they go. Dang it. Oh, are you able to do other types of holidays and events other than just Christmas?
Yep, absolutely. So, we usually start putting up depending when you're first starting out, you're usually just putting up in late October and then the whole month of November and on about the first 2 weeks of December 10th, December 10th through the 15th is about when it stops. And then, October, the end of October is actually Diwali. So we'll put lights up for that. It's an Indian holiday and it's the celebration of lights. And so we'll put up then, since I grew my business to $500,000, we actually would start October, the first week of October, and we would install all of October, November, the first 2 weeks of December, and then takedown is in January. And so we'll take all our lights down in January when we're taking them down. So
that's a selling point right there. I'm just going to say that we have maybe had Christmas lights on our house. One year they were up all year. And then we plugged them in the next year and they didn't work. And they are routinely on our house until June. So I'm just saying that's a selling feature right there. Well, I can see how doing Christmas lights can save marriages. I mean, we have domestic disputes over this because I always want the lights up as soon as Thanksgiving's over. And if I could do them myself, I would. But in the house we have now, even if I'm on a ladder, I'm too short to reach the peak. I just can't reach. And so he'll put them up, by the time I badger him, it'll already be well into December, but then he leaves them on until June. And so I'm just saying, you could maybe solve some marital problems by offering this service. So.
And it is a good service. Again, it is something, like I say, it's not cheap. And, we did a couple that, she went on vacation and he's like, I need it done this weekend. And we're like, okay. And he's like, whatever you do, don't tell the wife how much I paid. But the beautiful thing of it is he did it for the next 3 or 4 years. So, that is the thing about Christmas lights is, yes, the close rate kind of sucks that we're only at 20%. But the return rate of Christmas light is around 80%, 80 to 85% will return next year. And so that is the awesome thing about Christmas lights. The other awesome thing about Christmas lights is it is a high dollar thing that we're paying. But the beauty of it is they will pay other money. So like where I do pressure washing, a lot of my Christmas light, the lifetime value of a Christmas light customer can be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. And that is the beauty of Christmas light customer versus a lifetime value of a pressure wash customer is, probably $2,000, $3,000.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head because you said this, that you have to remember that you're not your ideal customer because while Scott and I wouldn't necessarily pay even for the things that we do in landscaping, we're like, oh, that's a lot. But I have friends and I always put things through the threshold of my older sister because her and her husband both work. They've got money, but they're busy and they don't have a lot of time to do these things. She is someone who would absolutely pay to come and have this done because she wants her house to look nice and she just wants it done. She's happy to pay just to have it done. So,
yep. And that's,
there are people.
And at the end of the day, we're not selling Christmas lights. We're not selling landscaping. We're selling time at the end of the day. We just so happen, I always tell people in the pressure washing world, we are a customer service business that just so happens to be doing pressure washing or Christmas lights, And right. So that, people can mow their grass, people can do landscaping themselves, but the time that they want to spend out there with their kids and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. So back to the Christmas lights. So who actually owns the lights? How does this work? Do the people own the lights? Do you own the lights? How do you set that all up?
So we set it up as a service. We don't really rent the lights. We don't lease the lights. We sell the service. And the service is we help come up with a design so that way that it looks good. Then what we do is we bring our lights, we install our cut lights, we customize the lights to the house. So that way, we don't have lights coming off the end where there's no roof there. And right. Then what we do is if they have a problem during the season, we will come back, fix them free of charge within, the next business day. And then at the end of the season, we take them down and take them away. And they are our lights. Now, some things that we do to help, give people to come back next year is we will actually do a 10-15% discount if somebody signs up for a 3-year agreement. And the beautiful thing about 3-year agreements or any time with contracts like that is if you ever try to sell your business, that makes your business worth a lot more money by having contracts versus not having contracts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So can you give just a quick rundown of what's inside the academy or the program that you have?
So what I do is I go step by step of everything that you need to do, everything you need to buy, how to install, how to make your own extension cords, all that kind of stuff of all the how-tos. Then I go over all the other good stuff of how to quote trees, how to quote houses, all the stuff of quoting. And then on my marketing section is how to set up your Google ads, Google ad keywords, how to set up a website, how to use yard signs, how to use LinkedIn, how to do marketing at the end of the day. The marketing side of it is probably the best part of it, which I know most people don't care about marketing, but that is at the end of the day, the best thing about my course.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And
a lot of stuff in there.
A lot of stuff in there. And people would be silly not to at least check out your YouTube channel, B, check out your course, because if this is something that you could start now to add some of that, end of the season revenue before the end of the year. So.
Yeah, and we'll put the link for this the course in our show notes and on YouTube and everything. So
yeah, and for the Christmas lights course, if you sign up through our link, then I will send you some email templates as well. so that you can use to just give to your customers, be like, oh, hey, we're going to add this additional service.
And
so
with that link, you will get 30 days free. And of course, obviously, if you want to cancel, you cancel at any time. If not, you will pay a monthly fee. And then from there, it is whatever it is. So, but you can get 30 days free of all the information that I just gave there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, check it out.
That's awesome.
Totally worth it.
That's a huge add-on for like the landscapers that just need to add a little bit more funds in the summer. In the wintertime, and don't want to plow snow or deal with it. So
yeah, no, I love it because plowing snow is profitable as well, but it's a lot of work and you have to work a lot of weird hours. It seems like Christmas lights might, it's all concentrated, get all that work done in like October, November, December, take it down in January, maybe have some time to breathe before the season starts up again. So.
And the bad thing about or the snow plowing is I talked to a friend actually at one of my trainings not too long ago when he was like, man, the last 2 years we haven't had no snow. And so, the money isn't there when there's no snow.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those when it rains, it pours, and then, and then you're sitting around just waiting, like, come on. So
do you get many clients call you back for any issues like Thanksgiving or Christmas or anything like that? Or is it?
Most of the time, we don't have very little issues being that we use commercial grade stuff and it's all LEDs now. Back in the old days when it was incandescent, you'd be running 10, 20 amps worth of stuff. And now you can do up a whole setup display and you're less than 3, 4, 5 amps. So the electric is not there. So that kind of resolved a lot of those problems. The old incandescents, if water got in the bulbs, it would blow out the bulb. And then, you had a lot of issues at that point.
Yeah. So it's worth it to get the good lights, do it right.
Yeah.
Don't cheap out and go to Walmart and Home Depot. Get the good stuff. So that way you're not out there, on Christmas fixing lights.
So the other portion of your business is the pressure washing business. And I'm kind of excited about that. I like that.
Well, a lot of our people that's like they offer pressure washing, but
maybe not as much as like as far as washing houses, but they'll do like the sand in the patios and get all that out and resand it and seal it and everything like that. But
it's something they could definitely add. I didn't even know that that you could pressure wash roofs. I had no idea. I was watching your YouTube channel. I'm learning so much. So I had no idea. Well, so I mean, it's nice. So and teach people how to do it so it doesn't leave like, you'll see people like just do their own driveway, but then you can see like the ring, you can see all the marks. I'm like, they tried cleaning their driveway. So anyway, I'll let you guys talk about pressure washing.
Yeah, pressure washing is a great add-on. I know a lot of landscapers that started doing landscaping and they actually moved to Christmas or to pressure washing. I have a guy that lives on the east side of Cincinnati, and he originally started out as a landscaper, and now he's making $500,000 a year running 2 trucks doing pressure washing, and the overhead's not there and all that kind of stuff. You do have to do marketing. It is learning the right way to do pressure washing. Obviously, we're not pressure washing at the end of the day. We're using chemicals to soft wash because pressure washing is bad. You can see people that remove oxidation on the houses and stuff like that. And so pressure washing is a very profitable business at the end of the day also. It's got a lot of profit at the end of the day. And so that's the beauty of pressure washing. And you can, I know many people out there that have $1 million pressure washing businesses, and it's all about finding the right customer, obviously, and going down the road of who is your customer and who isn't your customer.
Nice. So I kind of go again, what kind of equipment? Do you have to go buy a hot seat or can you go to Home Depot and buy there?
So the equipment side of pressure washing is obviously going to be a lot more. The entry, if you can build it yourself, hot seat. There's other brands out there.
Sure.
I wouldn't go to Home Depot either. It's not about the pressure. A lot of people think that I got to buy this high pressure. It's not. It's really about how many gallons a minute it flows. So when we're trying to buy a pressure washer, we want to be at least 4 gallons a minute or more. And the more we are on that is how faster we can do the pressure washing. So, if you can build it yourself and you are good enough at doing it, you're probably looking anywhere from about $5,000 to $7,000 to get into it and have a nice system. If you to have somebody build it, you're probably looking around the $15,000 to $20,000 and maybe even up higher than that. But with one rig like that can bring in $150,000 to $200,000 a year, even if you only have a 8-month season.
Yeah, Now, since we deal with plants, you have to worry about plants killing off, or I'm sorry, your chemicals killing off the plants.
Yeah, you do. But if you use the right amount of chemical and the right amount of, and that's learning how to do it right versus, going out there and splash and dash and killing everything, because you will kill everything. It's a great weed killer if you're not very smart with it. I've done it by myself. And, the way I teach, whether you do it in-person, I have an in-person class or I have the online kind of stuff is the way I teach is how I screwed up and what not to do. And so that's kind of how I figured it out over the time of what not to do. Because if you do this, you're going to screw it up. And guess what? Don't do that again, because you get to paint the door. You get to put bushes in. You get to do all kinds of things that you really don't want to do.
Yeah, they're going to get refreshed landscaping in houses on your dime. So that's what I like about, because that's how our $1 Million Academy for Landscapers is as well. It's like, here's all the things we did very wrong and took way too long to figure out. So no, I like that you've been there, you've done it, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I do even for my pressure washing and Christmas lights, I do offer in-person trainings. So if you go to check out either website, you can go in there. But in my in-person trainings, you learn by doing. When I teach people how to do it, I'm not just showing you how to do it. So what I do is I actually teach it, I do it, and then I let you do it. So that way when you involve somebody and you get involved, you learn a lot better versus just me sitting here just showing you. And so you get to do it for the Christmas lights or for the pressure washing.
Nice. So is there decent money in that, or?
In the pressure washing, yes, I would. Yeah. There's, I've had very good success stories. With COVID hitting this year, I've had guys. There's actually not too far from you from where he's actually a Peoria fireman. He started in March and he thought he was going to get laid off. He still might get laid off, and he's done $70,000, and this is in October. So, and he would have booked more than that and done more than that, but he got hit by a car. And his leg is all jacked up. So, but he did $70,000 with built his own rig. He's a full-time fireman also. And, when he first started, he was working every day, weekends. And I'm like, quit working weekends. And so he's like, but I'm booked up for 2 weeks. I'm like, raise your prices. So he raised his prices. And so now he made $70,000 on basically a part-time. He only worked Monday through Friday when he wasn't at the firehouse, and still he did over $70,000 this year.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Do you have to bring your own water, or like, how does that work? I mean,
we just use the customer's water. We use a thing called a buffer tank, so that way the pressure washer don't overheat. And so we don't need a big buffer tank. Some people you see driving around with these big giant buffer tanks that their truck couldn't pull it if they saved their lives. So
nice. Okay.
It's kind of like the landscape, and you have this big long trailer on a little F-150 that is way overweighted.
Yeah, spone in the middle. Yeah. Nice. All right. Well,
I'm sorry. I feel bad. I was very excited for Christmas lights. I had a lot of questions on that pressure washing. I just don't know as much about, but if you want to check out Jason's website, pressurewashhelp.com, christmaslightshelp.com, we will have links to all of that, because they can go through our links, get 30-day free trials.
Yep.
Am I missing anything?
And the emails for the...
Oh, yeah. For the Christmas lights, if you sign up through our link, I'll get some emails in there for you. It's going to be great. So I think these are all things that definitely complement the landscaping industry. So if anybody's been looking to add any revenue sources, they should for sure check your stuff out. Go to your YouTube channel. I mean, just like I said, the amount you have on there is amazing. Your YouTube channel is a great place to start. So, and
I do have a new podcast out. It's called King of Pressure Wash. So go check it out also. I talk a lot about marketing, and marketing is marketing at the end of the day. So
yeah. Well, yeah, because a lot of people, like we say all the time, a lot of people are good at landscaping, but it's that business end of things. It's the marketing and all that business stuff. So that's what you've got to work on. So no, I think that's awesome that you have added a podcast to your repertoire as well.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
That's right. Be everywhere.
And it's not about being on the truck at the end of the day. It's about getting off the truck. I always say it's the two hardest things to start a business is first to start the business, and second is to get off the truck, and that is the second hardest thing to do.
Yep. Yeah. Same thing in landscaping. We're always telling, you're working too hard. You've got to set up your business to where your employees can work without you having to be there 24/7. So
it's like the Peoria fireman. He's working weekends and busting his ass.
And people want to say you got to grind. Well, that's what's grind. If you're working again, we're saving people time. Time is money. So
exactly. I like to say the hustle and grind works until it doesn't, because eventually that's going to explode right in your face. So
you're either going to lose everything in your family and everything, or you're going to, you know what I mean? So
you're going to have a heart attack or something. So, All right. Well, check out the links to everything. Check out the YouTube channels, all of it. It's all good stuff. Add some revenue. It's not too late. You can do it.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Bye.